Hello, Fredak here. Fred ACC, all one word. Alrighty, so it is May the 16th, 2025. For those of you who have subscribed, you know that Fredak believes knowledge is power. The more knowledge you have, the more power you have. I don't derive anything financial from this site. If I ever do, I will share that with each of you. I will not sell your soul, nor my soul. First up, I'd like to thank you all for being here. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. Today's life's lesson is going to be about how to negotiate a good deal. It's interesting how many people I find throughout my everyday life that don't know how to approach getting the best deal that you can get, and or complaining about something. If you have a complaint, whether it's with a manufacturer, a hotel chain, a restaurant, whatever it might be, these are some tried and true tips that I have that I'm passing along with you. So, the first thought that I have is that it's always important to be speaking to the person who can help your situation. If you're speaking to someone who cannot help your situation, then you're wasting your time, and you're probably going to have to repeat everything that you're saying a second time or a third time. That's how it all is. So when you call up to speak to somebody at the Hilton Hotel or whatever it might be, you might want to ask for the manager or the supervisor, or if it's from some electronics store, Best Buy or whatever it might be. Then, I've often found that if you call up on the phone and you're screaming and barking at people on the phone, more than likely that person is going to turn around and just go click and hang up. That's what I would think about doing. Let's just say you're calling American Airlines. They have thousands of operators answering the phone. You people, blah, 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 blah. Click. Let them call back. They'll get somebody else anyway. Not going to deal with that. Also, if you're looking for this person on the other end of the phone to actually help you out with your situation, you want it to be friendly and amicable. You don't want to be frictional and confrontational. Four-letter words will not help you out at all. In fact, that's going to hurt you quite a bit. After a while, you start to get the hang of when you call people on the telephone, just from how they say hello, or hello, my name is blah, 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 blah. You can kind of tell this might not be the person that I want to deal with. So you might want to either politely say, gee, my dog's on fire, or my house is burning down, or my refrigerator's got smoke, and I got to call you back, click. And if it's a large enough business, you call back, you'll probably get a different person on the phone. And you'll be able to tell from their voice. You start to develop a knack for who's going to be able to help you out or not. Also, something to consider is that most of the people that you speak to, they are not the proprietor. They're not the owner of the business. They just work there. So naturally, if you have them on your side of things somewhat, they're going to be much more apt to help you out. Makes sense, it's common sense. One of my favorite things to do is that when I first say hello, the person says, hi, this is Joe Schmo. I will say, oh, I'm sorry, it's Joe Schmo. And how do you spell that? And they'll say Schmo, S-H-M-O-E. And I'll say S-H-M-O-E, let me write that down. What is this accomplishing? Well, it's letting that person on the phone know that I'm scribbling down their name. It's John McCormick, or it's Susie Chapstick. Susie Chapstick. Okay, C-H-A-P, and I repeat that out loud. And I usually am writing it down also, because now they're aware of the fact that I, as the customer, have their complete name. Now, some companies are going to say, we can't give you our full name. I understand that. I'll also generally tend to make some kind of a comment. Gee, Susie Chapstick, you sound like a really nice lady. I've only spoken to you for 20 seconds on the phone. I don't know if you're a nice lady or not, but it kind of lowers the tension down a little little bit, brings things down a little bit. Instead of jumping right in, you people, the way you treat me, what you did to me, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not helping this person out for jack spit. Once you explain your side of the situation to them, and you want to detail in a very logical order of why you feel that you're being wronged. If it's fairly pretty obvious, you're naturally going to get all of the general customer service responses. I completely understand. I'm with you all the way. You sound very polite. Saying nice things and agreeing with you. That's their job. Then they're going to try to possibly help you out or possibly tell you, unfortunately, our policy is, and we can't do that. Then you might have to tell them, well, I understand your position. You have to respect mine. So I'm going to have to scribble out a letter to the corporate office. And by all means, Ms. Chapstick, I will not disrespect you by not spelling your name completely correctly. Now let's think about this. Most people do not want their name connected with anything that's going to the corporate office, about anything. They just don't want to be involved with all that. And again, you have to do this in a rather subtle way. It can't be too abrasive and threatening. You know who I am. They don't care who you are. That's like the wrong way to go. But you do it in a rather nice way, and you could also try to put a twist on it. It's like you can offer a solution. Well, Ms. Chapstick, it would really be wonderful if we could just iron this out right here and just get this squared away. What I'm trying to do is figure out why my flight was changed or why the food was not that good or whatever. And I'm not asking you for this or for that or for $1 million. Just show me something. Let's try to make this right. Now, you might not even have to lead into that because they might be trying to make it right for you before you even lead into all of that. But once again, these are some of the ways that a person can actually interact with the decision maker to get a better deal. This harkens me back to the days of Tower Airlines, a long time ago, 30 years ago. At a JFK airport. Tower Air used to have one price for midweek. For the same flights, they'd have a different price on Fridays and Saturdays. So I would book my ticket on a Tuesday for $99. And then I would switch it, because there was no fee for switching, and I would switch it over to a Friday or a Saturday flight. And again, I had the ability to be getting a better deal. Kind of playing the system, and plenty of people do play the system. What I would also recommend doing is that you want to try to, if it's not a complaint and it's not a problem that you had, if you're just trying to get the best price that's available, it doesn't hurt to just actually ask. Well, gee, this is back in the day. My flights were out of JFK mostly on LaGuardia Airport in New York. And when I would call up, they'd have a flight to California for $169. I would say, yeah, but what about that special that I saw for $79 in the newspaper? The person would say, oh, hold on a moment. And they would come back and they'd say, oh, no, it's $99. That's the special that they have. I'd say, yeah, that's the one, the $99 special. And they'd say, yeah, what days is that available? And I would book that flight. So sometimes, if you're dealing with like your cable service, every 2-3 years, it's always pretty wise to try to negotiate a better deal. You want to ask for the retention department. The retention department, their job all day long is to keep you with Verizon or T-Mobile or whatever phone service, whatever cable TV you're with or whatever. So when you call them up and you mention to them, I'd like to speak to somebody in the retention department because I'm considering closing my account and moving on. And once you get the retention department, you can ask the person, and I'm sorry, what is your name? It's Susie Chapstick. chapstick. You sound like a very nice lady. Here's the situation that I got. I'm getting all these different offerings from DirecTV for a much lower price. So call to see if there's something you can do for me before I kind of pull the plug and make a move. Quite often, they're going to come back to you and say, oh, yes, we have a special for 3 months or 6 months. Let me see if I can slide you over into that, even though I'm not supposed to do that, but I'm going to do that for you. So these are the different things that I am sharing for life's lessons on how to try to get a better deal from things. And you can check out the Fred Axe Subscribe, look at my life's lessons posts, many of my other different postings. You might find they make a whole lot of sense. SENCE and sense. CENTS. Alrighty, well, I want to thank you all for being here today. May all your days be winning ones.